Part 45. The Strongest Assassin in the Server. Author, B.A. Wang Shi-san. Chapter 441. No. The artifact belongs to the capable. Brother Yeshen, since you killed the Tyrannosaurus Rex, the artifact belongs to you. Staring at Yeshen's cold eyes, the city lord trembled in his heart and said hurriedly, "Brother, there is no deep hatred between you and me, why do you have to kill me? If you let me go, I promise you that I will never touch the artifact." "Let you go," Yeshen said with a smile, "can I believe you?" "Of course. I hope readers will remember our domain name Taiwan Novel Network Rightward Arrow." The city lord saw that Yeshen was not in a hurry to make a move, and immediately ignited a glimmer of hope. "I am a lieutenant general and the lord of a city, so I will say what I mean." "Haha, bullshit." Yeshen sneered, "I don't have as much nonsense as you. I only know that you wanted to kill me before, and now you are in my hands, how can I let you go?" Before, the element of the Holy Land released meteor showers indiscriminately, not only targeting Longji, but also Yeshen. Fortunately, it was a meteor shower. If it was other elements, Yeshen would definitely die. How could Yeshen not hate this matter? Hearing this, the hope that the city lord had just ignited was ruthlessly extinguished in an instant, and he was in pain. In the sky, the scene of Yeshen threatening and even scolding the city lord was deeply imprinted in the hearts of hundreds of millions of players below. "Hey, what players are you talking about, saying that the city lord is farting? Yeshen is too fierce, he doesn't even take the city lord seriously, he is a strong man in the Holy Land. I just laughed, Yeshen even killed the divine beast, and now he threatens the Holy Land, but you are surprised." 6666666. The people below had mixed feelings. Yeshen killed the beast and threatened the Holy Land, but if they faced the Holy Land, they would not even dare to breathe. They were playing the same game, but the gap was too big, right? Just then, Yeshen and Huowu, Shulan, attacked the city lord at the same time, and the silver needles, arrows, and fire dragons came whistling. The city lord screamed but did not fall. Strong attack? Yeshen and Xiaohei attacked at the same time, breaking the city lord's giant sword and breastplate respectively. The city lord's HP dropped straight, and his vitality was weakening. He was still entangled by the tentacles of the Octopus King and could not move. "Warriors of the neutral camp, please help me kill that big octopus." The city lord roared, and the sound waves shook. "Once I get rid of control and kill Yeshen and others, I will reward you heavily." Hiss. The city lord roared, like a boulder falling into the sea, stirring up thousands of waves in the hearts of the players. After all, they are also players in the neutral camp, why don't they help the city lord? The night god is the enemy. Now the city lord is in danger. If the city lord is saved, it is very likely that the hidden mission will be completed. For a while, the army roared and attacked the Octopus King frantically. The Octopus King is a national lord, but he is just a pet, with only more than 50,000 HP. Under the crazy attacks of countless players, it only lasted for 3 seconds before screaming and dying. The city lord also released the control of the tentacles. Ha ha ha. The city lord laughed wildly, flipped his hand and took out another giant sword, but his chest was still naked. This is also normal. Weapons are used too frequently and it is easy to lose durability. Most people will have spare weapons. Although the city lord is a strong man in the Holy Land, he is no exception, but he has no spare breastplate. Die. The city lord was so fast that he roared and a streak of red light flashed across the black sky. Yes, the city lord's fighting spirit was red, but not fiery red, but dark red, which meant that his strongest point was strength, not fire. In just a moment, he rushed to the side of the big fried chicken and killed the big fried chicken with a sweep of the giant sword. Clang! With a heavy chant, the city lord held the giant sword horizontally and rushed to Ian's side. With a wave of his hand, the knife fell, and it was another simple and clean kill. After all, he is a strong man from the Holy Land, and his strength is not to be underestimated. The city lord completed 2 ordinary attacks in a row, killing 2 people in a row. Savage collision. The next moment, the city lord turned around and rushed towards Tank like a rampaging lion. He was so fast, but Tank reacted, roared, and turned into a pitch-black war-wolf. Shield attack. With a bang, Tank's cell shield hit the city lord firmly, and the quicksand roared like waves, and the city lord was blown away. The enemy moved more than 10 yards and fell into a state of stiffness. Berserkers accumulate rage points. 8 points is the maximum value, and then it is the hegemony, and the damage is doubled. But the way to accumulate rage points is the number of attacks, and each attack increases 1 point. The city lord killed the big fried chicken and Lan in seconds, but he only had 2 rage points at this moment, and he had no hegemony. That's why he was repelled by the tank. Berserker's rage points are obviously not as good as the assassin's combo points. Although the combo points are called combo points, they are based on the damage increase value. Ordinary attacks are always 1 point, and skills are 5 points. With Yechen's current damage, he always uses 5 points when he releases skills. If it is a multi-stage damage skill like Boomerang, Bladestorm, Thousand Needles, etc., it can accumulate 7 points at once. Stun Dart. -120,028. The duration of stiffness is very short, less than 1 second, so 1 stiffness is nothing. The real powerful thing is continuous stiffness. Yechen raised his hand and shot a yellow light dart, further stunning the city lord. Come on together. I'll stick to you guys fight. Yechen said as he turned into a battle gyroscope and twirled up, sticking close to the city lord in an instant, strangling him to death. The powerful suction ability made the city lord unable to move. In the back, Huo Wu and his uncle fired a series of fire dragons and arrow rains, focusing on bombarding the city lord. Tank stood in the back and touched his nose. He was very conscious and didn't move. Now the city lord was finally sucked by the sword storm. If he went up and hid with a shield, he would be blown away again, which would help the city lord. On the other side, Zhou Haiyan. Xiao He was sneaky and silently attacked the city lord. Once the strong attack cooled down, he would smash a piece of equipment. The city lord's defense was getting lower and lower, and the damage of Yechen and others was getting higher and higher. A few minutes later, the city lord's already low blood volume returned to 0, and a large piece of equipment, materials, coins, etc. burst out, falling like fireworks. Damn, Yechen and his men actually killed the city lord. So many equipment. Holy artifacts, I saw the holy artifacts. Brothers, these equipment belonged to Yechen and his men, but after half an hour, they became ownerless items. Brothers, hold on for half an hour, and don't let Yechen and his men come down to pick them up. As long as they dare to come down, we will open fire and greet them. The battle in the sky, ordinary players below cannot intervene. But now the equipment has fallen, although they still can't pick it up, but as long as they wait for half an hour, when the dropped items become ownerless, they can naturally pick them up. 015. The strongest assassin in the server. Author, B.A. Wang Shi-san. Chapter 442. The Tyrannosaurus Rex, the city lord and 5 other powerful men from the sanctuary all died and countless equipment, coins and materials were dropped. WW Sim La. Like 6 hills, lying quietly in the open space. Every hill is shining with light of various colors, it is the halo of equipment of different qualities. In particular, the largest Tuo shot up into the glow, which was the light of the artifact. Hundreds of millions of players in the neutral camp are all looking at it with envy, but they are unable to pick it up. Because these items were all taken down by Yuchen Tank and the others. But it doesn't matter, as long as they hold on for half an hour, these items will become ownerless, and it will not be too late for them to pick them up by then. Are you kidding? Their hundreds of millions of people can even kill mythical beasts, so why are they afraid of those people from Yeshen? Yeshen. Listen, the divine beast belongs to our neutral camp. You have already gained the experience, and you even hacked our city lord to death, that's all. As for the loot, don't get involved. Among the players below, the leader suddenly shouted loudly toward the sky. No one refuted it, it was obvious that they also meant this. Yakama, you're done here. Suddenly there was a sneer, and several streaks of light flew into the sky. Each person had a different color of fighting spirit, shining slightly in the dark night. If you look closely, it is not difficult to find that it is Shang Wang Jian Wuhan who shot Lan Yan Taishan and others to death. Haha, okay. The king is here again, kill the night god. When everyone discovered that King Shang and others appeared again, they were immediately overjoyed. They no longer cared about their stance. As long as he can kill Ye Chen, that will be enough. In that case, the loot will become ownerless, and whoever robs it will get it, each based on his ability. However, they did not notice how ironic the word "you" in their mouths was. And, that's right, it's just, because King Shang and others have been hummed by Ye Chen once before. The mantis arm is like a chariot, haha, so what if you come? I can kill you once, but I can kill you twice, 3 times, or even countless times. Looking at King Shang and others, Ye Chen couldn't help but laugh. Now, he can completely crush King Shang and others, and the two sides are no longer on the same level. Humph, what a loud tone. King Shang and others did not think so. After hearing the ridicule in Ye Chen's words, their faces suddenly looked a little embarrassed and they immediately took action. Blade Storm. Ye Chen then took action and transformed into a huge battle top, facing Jian Wuhan's sudden attack head-on. Using the gyro to block the instant slash, Ye Chen only received a small amount of damage. On the contrary, Jian Wuhan suffered huge trauma and was absorbed by the gyro, leaving him unable to resist. Easily strangled for a second, Ye Chen accumulated enough combo points and released directly. Destroying Storm. Puff puff puff. Countless flame darts were shot out, creating a gorgeous rain of fire in the dark night sky, followed by a series of muffled sounds of bodies being penetrated by sharp weapons. King Shang and others had just flown up, and were immediately smashed down again. Hiss. Why are they here? Damn it, they just appeared, and they were all killed by Ye Chen in the blink of an eye. Many kings faced the night god at the same time, but they were vulnerable. Yakama, what is your level? Shit, now it's not a question of level at all. It's that the damage done by night god is too high, which has been several times higher than that of existing players. Naturally, no one can resist it. The fire that had just been ignited in the hearts of everyone below was extinguished in an instant. Ye Chen was so terrifying that it put great pressure on them. After the destruction storm killed many kings instantly. Immediately afterwards, the top fell straight down, and the sharp tip exploded the air, stirring up billowing airflow. At first glance, it seems huge. Boom. With lightning speed, the top crashed down, thunder exploded on the ground, and the ground cracked. How wide is the range of the gyro? All enemies within a 5-yard radius were smashed to death. The endless flame darts, like will-o'-the-wisps in the dark night, fired wildly as the top spun, and puff, 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 a series of muffled sounds of bodies being penetrated by sharp blades were heard. There were corpses everywhere within 100 yards, but there was not a single living person at all. Nowadays, for Ye Chen, the human sea tactic is of no use, he will kill as many as he comes. The limit distance of the flame dart is 100 yards. Within 100 yards, the first wave of enemies will be wiped out, and immediately there will be people who are not afraid of death rushing in. But as soon as they rushed in, they were instantly killed by flame darts. After more than 10 waves of this, the bodies piled up into a sea. The people in the outer circle were so frightened that they stopped rushing forward. Oh my God, it's so scary. There are so many of us and we can't rush in. Whoever rushes will die. Yashen is so terrifying, he is almost inhuman. Now I understand how much pressure Shang Wangjian Wuhan and other kings must have when facing Yashen. 666, 6666. Everyone on the battlefield was stunned with fear. The night god turned into a top and spun there, but they didn't dare to charge. Above, Uncle Soy Sauce, Tank Lao, looked at the scene below and was also dumbfounded. Along the way, Yuchen had indeed brought them countless miracles, but they had never thought that Yuchen could reach such a terrifying level. Yes, it's horror. Facing Yuchen, hundreds of millions of players now dare not charge. If this is not terror, then what is terror? After a while, the gyroscope started to move. It plowed the ground all the way, sand and rocks flew, and corpses piled up into an ocean. The outer encirclement also moved with the gyroscope. Finally, the gyroscope came to the source of the thousands of feet of rosy clouds and stopped. Yachen lowered his eyes and scanned the artifact. Dragon pattern, artifact/fashion. Level 10. Fashion part skin. Strength add 1000. Stamina add 1000. Intelligence add 500. Spirit add 500. Agility add 500. Fire light dark ice resistance add 200. Stiffness add 100. Additional skill belong pattern instant, defense increased by 20%, stiffness increased by 20%, strength and stamina increased by 10%. Duration 60 seconds, cooldown time 90 seconds. Note, this item cannot be traded. www.jioshan.com. Oh my god, the artifact is actually a fashion skin. Yachen's mouth twitched, he didn't expect this. Artifacts are too rare after all. Even in his previous life, he had never seen them with his own eyes. As for the artifact costumes, he had never heard of them. But now, the artifact costumes are right in front of him, and he can't help but believe it. This tyrant dragon pattern is obviously the tyrant dragon pattern of the Tyrannosaurus Rex. Yachen smiled slightly. The costume skin is called dragon pattern, and the additional skill is the tyrant dragon pattern. Yes, very powerful. The additional skills of this type of equipment cannot be upgraded, but this tyrant dragon pattern is obviously very strong. It does not increase fixed attributes, but percentages. It increases as the attributes increase. 015. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. The strongest assassin in the server. Author, B.A. Wang Shi-san. Chapter 443. Dark Night, Neutral Camp LV1 Main City. Simon. Law. The ruins that were plowed by the Tyrannosaurus Rex have become flat. In the flat land, there are 6 shining hills, one of which is even more beautiful. Yachen came to the place of the glow, and hundreds of millions of players surrounded him from 100 yards away. At this time, Yachen had cancelled the Blade Storm, but Xiao He did not cancel it. As a result, the surging crowd around could not rush in. What's going on? Yachen obviously stopped. Why did those people in front rush up and still die? Xiao He turned into a battle gyroscope, spinning on the ground, giving a feeling of one man blocking the pass and 10,000 men unable to open it. It's a pity that outsiders can't see its existence. Because of this, the surrounding players were all confused. The artifact. Yachen is about to pick it up, we are done for. Let go of that artifact, let me do it. Yeshen is already so perverted and against the sky. If he gets another artifact, what will happen? Seeing Yeshen squatting down and reaching out to touch the colorful beam, everyone felt a pain in their hearts, as if their mother had died. However, Yeshen still reached out to pick it up, and the thousands of feet of rosy clouds dissipated. Wow, I don't love it anymore. There was once a divine weapon in front of me, but I didn't cherish it. I didn't regret it until I lost it. There is no greater pain in the world than this. If God can give me another chance, I will pick up that artifact. If I have to add a requirement to this artifact, I hope it is an artifact that I can wear, and it is better to be an artifact that can grow. The requirements are a bit too much. 666,666, God, let me be reborn and travel through time. Even if I am reborn and travel through time, you can't get the artifact with your strength. The artifact was picked up, the rosy clouds dissipated, and everyone's hearts were cold and wailing. Countless people turned into white light and teleported away, or went offline. After all, the artifact has recognized its master, and there is no point for them to stay any longer. More and more people left. But there are still tens of millions of people who are unwilling to leave. Although the artifact is gone, there are still holy artifacts. Although most of these holy artifacts are still Yeshen's, but they are unwilling to give up until the last moment. On the other side, Yeshen picked up the artifact skin and equipped it directly. The next moment, his skin turned bronze, full of a heavy feeling. Of course, this is not the tyrant dragon pattern yet. Once it is turned on, the black mysterious pattern will definitely crawl all over his body. Skin is a part of fashion. Generally speaking, fashion has no quality distinction. Now that artifact fashion has appeared, Yeshen is also quite novel. This dragon pattern is only level 10. Yeshen tried to use forging to upgrade, but the system prompts unable to proceed. Fashion can't be upgraded. Yeshen smiled and didn't care. He directly turned on the automatic pickup and picked up the spoils of Tyrannosaurus Rex Longji. In addition to the artifact skin, there are 3 holy artifacts, plus the 2 that Yeshen stole before, a total of 5 holy artifacts. It can be said to be a big harvest. However, when he had a big harvest, a group of players were desperate, and many people left immediately. The spoils of Tyrannosaurus Rex were swept away. Yeshen looked at the other 5 hills, and Xiaohe moved over to clear the way for them. A few minutes later, Yeshen successfully swept all the spoils. 3 level 80 holy artifacts, 5 holy grids. The holy grid is in a diamond shape, only the size of a thumb, and flashes warm holy light. Holy grid, holy item/consumable, can be used by players at level 79-99, strength, physical strength, intelligence, spirit, agility add 1000, fire, ice, light and dark enhancement add 100, resistance add 500 points. After use, you have the ability to fly, and can place magic array trap skills in the air. Note, after using it, the level of the 79 level player is add 1. Note, after use, the player has the holy grid, and will not drop the level after death. Note, when the player dies 100 times, the holy grid is destroyed. Rich. Yeshen smiled slightly. He had seen the holy grid in his previous life. After all, this thing can be traded, and there will be goods in the auction house in the later stage of the game. Of course, it is extremely expensive. But he has seen it, but he has never owned it. In his previous life, he played to level 99, but he was still not considered a master, still just a rookie. After all, level 99 does not mean the holy domain. Level 80 players and level 80 holy domain are 2 completely different things. In other words, just because you have reached level 80 does not mean that you are in the holy domain. Because without holy grid, you are not in the holy domain. The same is true for monsters. It does not mean that monsters above level 80 are all holy beasts. Of course, there are holy beasts above level 80, but they are still ordinary monsters, elite monsters, and leaders. In his previous life, Dream World has been running for 4 years. There are so many players above level 80, but there are still only a few real holy domains that can fly in the air. In his previous life, Yechen also played Dream World for 2 years, and his level was 99, but he didn't even get a holy grid. But now, he got 5 holy grids in a blink of an eye. The difference between them can really be regarded as a world of difference. After being reborn once, Yechen's fate has changed. The holy grid is a good thing. It not only has a huge attribute bonus, but also has the ability to fly. The reason why the strong in the holy domain are so powerful is because they have the holy grid. In addition, the holy grid is equivalent to 100 life-saving charms. After using it, you will not lose level if you die, unless the holy grid is destroyed. The strong in the holy domain, the holy beast, only has a chance to explode the holy grid. I didn't expect that this time it would directly explode 5 pieces. Yechen smiled slightly. The holy grid is priceless, of course he will not sell it. When the time comes, he will use one himself, and the rest will naturally be distributed to Tank and others. Yechen has cleared all the spoils that Tyrannosaurus Rex, W.Zacian.C City Lord and others exploded. Every time a hill is cleared, the players will wail, until the end. The wailing continued, and the original group of hundreds of millions of players also dispersed. The night is still the same night, and the monster siege is still going on. This is just the LV1 main city. At this moment, the high-level players have dispersed, and a group of rookies who have just entered the game have emerged and continue to participate in defending the city. It's our turn to attack next. Let's just massacre the city. On the throne side, there were still many people in the open space. Yechen waved his hand with high spirits. Now that all the strong men in the Holy Land had died in the city, Yechen had full control to take it down. Understood. The army also roared excitedly. They had experienced attacking towns and villages many times, but they had never experienced attacking a city, and they didn't know what it felt like. 015. The strongest assassin in the server. Author, B.A. Wang Shi-san. Chapter 444. Yechen quit the team and reassembled the blood tree. Team teleport. A huge teleportation array appeared, and the blood tree appeared with it. Master, the blood tree said respectfully. Tank, Huowu, and others were stunned. They had no idea that Yechen actually had a pet like the blood tree, and it could even speak. Yechen smiled slightly and took out a drop of divine blood with colorful rays of light. Obviously, this divine blood was exploded by the Tyrannosaurus Rex. Seeing the divine blood at this moment, the blood tree trembled all over, and was excited beyond control. By absorbing the divine blood, the blood tree may directly evolve into a holy beast. Yechen thought to himself, and at the same time threw the divine blood into the air, and the blood tree bathed in it, and it really changed. First, the color of the body surface, followed by the height and thickness, all increased. Finally, it turned directly into white light, and its body grew wildly in the dazzling white light. System, your blood tree has completed its evolution and is currently a holy beast. As the system prompt came, the white light dissipated, and the blood tree had grown to a terrifying height. In terms of height alone, it was taller than the Tyrannosaurus Rex, about the same as that cell, at least 5 to 60 yards. The trunk was also very thick, more than 10 yards. Holy beast. Yechen, I didn't expect you to have such a trump card. There were no outsiders at the scene, and Huowu was surprised. Yechen shook his head. There was really no trump card. The strongest point of the blood tree was not combat power, but feedback power. Yechen was slaughtering the Holy Land now, So why did he need a trump card? He was very happy that the blood tree evolved into a holy beast. It was not combat power, but the survival ability of the blood tree was enhanced. He was afraid that the blood tree would die in battle. Now it was a holy beast after all, a level 69 holy beast, with HP exceeding 3 billion. In this way, Ye Chen no longer worried about the death of the blood tree in battle. Killing Tyrannosaurus Rex, the city lord and other 5 strong men in the Holy Land, gaining a huge amount of experience points. Tank, Huowu and others have soared several levels. Ye Chen himself is at a high level, and needs more experience points to upgrade, but he has also upgraded and is now level 69. Blood Tree is also level 69. The feedback power of the Blood Tree, all attributes increased by 69%. Tank and others asked, Ye Chen explained the ability of the Blood Tree, and then Tank and others were stunned. Tisk tisk, no wonder your damage is so abnormal. Uncle Soy Sauce couldn't help but be amazed. Ye Chen smiled slightly, and Xiao He also grinned beside him. Yes, there is Xiao He. Xiao He and the Blood Tree have created the current Ye Chen. Okay, stop talking nonsense, let's attack the city. Ye Chen waved his hand, and the main forces dispersed and looked for NPCs in the main city to kill. 2 hours passed in a blink of an eye. Ye Chen led the throne's troops to kill the main city from beginning to end, so all the NPC guards and citizens were killed. With a swish, an extremely large crystal emerged in the center of the main city. This is the main city crystal, with 10 million HP. Whoever destroys the crystal will be the city lord. Boss, we killed the NPC guards of the neutral camp before, and we were punished by deducting merits. Now, if we destroy the crystal and capture the main city, we will definitely be punished by the same and even more massive deduction of merits. After the crystal was refreshed, Ye Chen led the team back to the center of the main city and surrounded the crystal. Immediately, a member of the main group proposed, Boss Ye Chen, you are about to be promoted to colonel, but you will become a marshal sooner or later. I will take the blame for you. Well, I agree, Tank said in a muffled voice. Conquering the main city is definitely not a joke. Because they are in the neutral camp, they will deduct merits for conquering the main city, and it will definitely not be a little bit. Any small town or village has thousands of merits. And the huge main city has countless small towns and villages, so at least 100,000 merits must be deducted, right? You know, it takes 100,000 merits to be promoted to major. If 100,000 is deducted now, a major is gone. This pot is not something that everyone can take. It is not a question of loyalty or not. Tank, Huowu and others are majors, but they must not be made to take the blame. If you want to find someone to take the blame, find someone with few merits. If they are deducted, they are deducted. Anyway, there are not many. I don't agree. Conquering the main city is an unprecedented feat, and it is likely to become an epic textbook in the future. Huowu held a different opinion and said, although there is a merit penalty, it is an honor in itself. Such a great honor is well deserved by the president. Hearing this, everyone was silent. Yes, what Huowu said made sense. After a while, they started arguing again, each holding their own opinions. In the outer circle, a large number of neutral camp players watched them quarrel and trembled. Most of these players are rookies who have just started playing Dream World. They are only level 10 and have just entered the main city. Originally, monsters attacking the city was very novel, but now, their main city was captured by this group of high-end and powerful people. How can they not panic? But no matter how panicked they had no way to deal with it. They were only level 10, and they didn't dare to counterattack. Stop arguing, I'll do it. After a while, Ye Chen gave the order. On the one hand, he also agreed with Huowu's statement. Conquering the main city was the supreme honor. In addition, Even if 100,000 merits or even 200,000 merits were deducted, it would be nothing. Anyway, the blood tree has now evolved into a holy beast, and its slaughter efficiency is amazing. By then, it will be quick to accumulate merits. Once Yechen made his decision, everyone stopped arguing. This was His Majesty. Yechen had the final say on the throne. His absolute strength brought his subordinates absolute obedience and respect. Change clothes. Ultimate Warrior. Boomerang. Minus 192,032, minus 200,050. Pierce the Heart. Minus 395,0020. Yechen threw a boomerang, accumulated combo points, and then pierced the heart directly, dealing nearly 4 million damage. Then 1000 needle slaughter shot for 1 second, and immediately accumulated combo points again, directly cancelling 1000 needle slaughter and using the ultimate move, dealing another 3 million HP. Strong attack. Yechen suddenly attacked, dealing another 2 million HP, and the huge crystal exploded. Yechen then put away his knife. The whole process took no more than 3 seconds, shocking all the guild members and making them sweat. My god, a crystal with 10 million HP was broken in just 3 seconds by Yechen boss. Boss is awesome. President is awesome. Everyone screamed excitedly. Yechen was too scary, they were so lucky for him. Tisk tisk, luckily I joined the throne, I have a future with Yechen boss. If I were an enemy, I would be finished. Same game, and I can't recharge RMB warriors, I really didn't expect the gap would be so big. All the main team members smiled bitterly. They are also masters, but compared with Yechen, they are simply ashamed. QBQ 520. The strongest assassin in the server. Author, B.A. Wangshi-san. Chapter 445. The crystal exploded with a bang, and then the entire main city was enveloped in a layer of light. In the light, the damaged buildings in the main city began to be rebuilt. After a blink of an eye, the main city took on a new look. Then, a system prompt rang in Yechen's ears, and at the same time, a broadcast sounded in the sky. System, you captured Xiun City, the LV1 main city of the neutral camp, and became the city's lord. As I write this, I hope readers will remember our domain name Taiwan Novel Network Rightward Arrow. System, the light camp and the neutral camp have a harmonious relationship. If you capture its main city, your merits will be reduced by 150,000 points. This is the only warning. Purple Cloud City broadcast, warning, this city has been captured by the light camp player Yechen. In view of your inaction, you will be punished as follows: experience gained within 48 hours minus 100%, all attributes minus 20%. Please counter-attack quickly. After the counter-attack is successful, all penalties will be cancelled. Neutral camp broadcast, warning. Warn. Warn. The LV1 main city of this camp, Xiun City, has been captured by the light camp player Yechen. In view of your inaction, you will be punished as follows: experience gained within 48 hours minus 50%, all attributes minus 10%. Please counter-attack quickly. After the counter-attack is successful, all penalties will be cancelled. Various broadcasts blared loudly, and Yechen and others heard it 6 times. Of course, they listened, but they were not punished. After all, they are from the light camp. Immediately, the black curse light fell, and all neutral camp players in Xiun City were punished, no experience at all for 48 hours, all attributes were reduced by 20%. Players in the entire neutral camp will be punished, their experience gained will be reduced by half within 48 hours, and all attributes will be reduced by 10%. Who are you provoking? I just played Dream World and was cursed. I can't upgrade within 48 hours, can I still play this game? I'm crying. The great God is willful, and we newbies will suffer the same consequences. In Zeun City, a group of new players were cursed by a black curse and were about to cry without tears. At the same time, they received another system prompt. System, the lord of this city, Yeshen, will collect a transition fee from you, a total of 10 silver coins. Countdown for 1 minute, automatically collected when time is up. Damn it! Cut off fee, what the hell is this? I just came out of Novice Village, and I only have a dozen silver coins in my hand. Now I have to hand it over. God of the night, I'm so sorry. Brothers, fight with Yeshen and the others. You can take a break. What level are you? What level is this person at? It's not enough for him to fill his teeth if we all go there, just withdraw. If you leave Zeun City, you don't need to pay the entrance fee. Whoa, that's 1 minute, I can't run out, and I'm not level enough to teleport to other main cities. It seems that I have to hand over the last 10 silver coins. In Zeun City, all the new players almost cried in anger. Are we going too far? Those are all newcomers. Xiaoro looked unbearable and threw out a large handful of coins with his hand. The silver light shone in the dark night, and they turned out to be silver coins. And among the silver coins, there are also a few gold coins mixed in. Wow! Thank you, beauty god. A group of newcomers had just withdrawn, and saw the coins rolling down. They immediately turned back and ran over to grab the money. Beauty, hey, they are a group of newbies who are only over level 10. Even if they can't survive, they can just delete their account and practice again. Why do you need to do this? Yes, we are educating them as human beings, letting them know that the sky is high and the sky is high, the game world is not that easy to mess around with. Everyone in the throne room couldn't help but smile, especially the ordinary members. They were jealous when they saw the gold coins. You know, a gold coin is worth 100 yuan. Xiaoro throws it away at will. There are at least dozens of coins in that handful. Yechen smiled slightly. He had long known about the kindness of Senior Xiaoro. It's hard to say anything at the moment. However, he didn't know that Xiaoro's move inadvertently created a good relationship for him. Those new players, after receiving Xiaoro's support, their resentment dissipated. He is no longer so resentful towards Yuchen and Throne. After a while, the new players all picked up the money and ran away. A minute passed quickly, and Yuchen had already started to collect the bills at this time. Although there were not many now, he believed that there would be more soon. You know, when he captured Zeun City, not only the players in Zeun City were punished, but the entire neutral camp was cursed and punished. Within 48 hours, the amount of experience gained will be halved, and all attributes will be reduced by 10%. Who can bear this? This is one of them, and also, although Zeun City has been refreshed, there are no strong men from the Holy Domain anymore. What does that mean? This means that this main city is no longer so difficult to capture. Yechen could fully imagine that before long, countless people from the neutral camp would teleport over and continue to capture the main city. After all, the city lord has huge benefits and everyone wants to be the city lord. The more players attack Zeun City, the more fees Yechen will collect. Maybe he can earn more than 100 million a day. Start defending the city next. Not only the monsters, but also players from the neutral camp will attack soon, Yechen instructed. None of the people in the throne room were novices. They all understood this and immediately nodded and dispersed, cleaning up the monsters in various ways. Yuchen clicked on the main city management system. Since becoming the city lord, his system list has added such a function. Zeun City originally belonged to the neutral camp, but now it is not. It belongs to the system and Yechen. Before, Yechen could not use the teleportation stone of Zeun City, but now he is the city lord, of course he can use it. Not only that, he can also let everyone in the throne use the teleportation stone of Zeun City. Of course, players in the neutral camp can still use the teleportation stone of Zeun City. After all, Zeun City is still classified as a neutral camp in terms of territory. After the adjustment, Ye Chen instructed Xiaomao, go to the corresponding NPC in the main city, www.Hshiankou by land, and then build a ship-shaped base. Remember, buy it in the central area. Brother Ye Chen, a piece of land in the main city costs several million RMB. If it is in the central area, it may cost tens of millions of RMB. Xiaomao was startled. As the financial officer of the throne, she was in charge of funds, but she couldn't use them casually. Hearing this, Ye Chen smiled slightly. Xiaomao didn't know yet that the income from occupying the main city and collecting the passing fee and the dividends from all the shops in the main city was off the charts. A mere tens of millions, I'm afraid it will be earned back in one day. If you defend it for one more day, it will be pure profit. Building the throne base in the center of Zeun City will also make it more convenient to defend the city. Just defending for a few days, you will be a billionaire, and you will have villas, luxury cars, and so on. And the core members, Tank, Huowu, Xiaomao, Xiaoro, Monkey, and others, will all get dividends. Not only them, even ordinary members, Ye Chen will increase their treatment. QBQ 520. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. The strongest assassin in the server. Author, B.A. Wang Shi-san. Chapter 446. Business Alliance. W.Simon.Law. Damn it, Ye Chen is so crazy that he actually captured our main city. The people from the Merchant Alliance left sadly after picking up the trophies dropped by Tyrannosaurus City Lord and others in Yuchen. Later, Yuchen led the Blood Tree Throne to capture Zeun City. They were not present, so they were not punished by Zeun City's terrifying curse. But as the broadcast sounded, they were also punished by the neutral camp's curse. The amount of experience gained was halved within 48 hours, and all attributes were minus 10%. Immediately, all of them were so angry that they almost jumped. Boss, let's fight back. Occupy the main city. Fight back. That night god is a top-destroying warrior. He turns into a spinning top and shoots countless flaming darts in all directions. The damage is so great that one man can't deal with it. Can we fight back? This is different. Let's kill the NPCs in Zeun City, force out the crystals, and just continue bombarding the crystals. Well, I also agree to fight back. Our experience is halved for 48 hours now. The monster spawning will make you angry, so we have to fight back no matter what. The Business Alliance channel was filled with indignant quarrels among the leaders of the major groups. Attack back. Kill the NPC, force out the crystal, and then bombard the crystal from a distance. Everything is focused on seizing the city. King Shang gave an order, and all the troops of the Shang Alliance were dispatched and teleported to Zeun City. Swish swish. At the same time, countless white lights descended on Zeun City. There were people from the Business Alliance, but most of them were players from the neutral camp, and they were all filled with anger. Just as Ye Chen expected, the amount of experience gained in 48 hours was halved and all attributes were reduced by 10%. No one could bear this kind of punishment. So, in just a few minutes, Ye Chen collected the scene fees and made tens of millions of silver coins. RMB, this is very easy to convert. In other words, Ye Chen earned tens of millions every minute. Ye Chen himself had never thought of such terrifying profits. Brothers, first kill the NPC to force out the crystal, and then bombard the crystal. Ye Chen is too perverted, we may not be able to defeat him. The main thing is to destroy the crystal and seize the city. That's right, if we capture the city, our curse and punishment will dissipate, but we can save some face. Leaders from all walks of life appeared and led the players to attack the city. For a moment, their positions changed, and the monsters attacking the city became their allies. Together with the monsters, they frantically killed the NPC citizens guarding Zeun City. The main city was so huge that millions of them worked together to besiege it and kill it for half an hour. Finally, Zeun City was in dilapidated condition, with flames and black smoke rising into the sky, along with countless corpses and crazy monsters. This terrifying night. Boom. All NPCs in Zeun City were killed and the crystals were refreshed. Brothers, charge forward and smash the crystal. Millions of players had a tacit understanding and gathered from all directions towards the center of Zeun City. In less than 10 minutes, millions of players gathered in the center of Zeun City, roaring to the sky. Such a momentum, although not as good as hundreds of millions of players attacking the Tyrannosaurus Rex, is still extremely spectacular. Huh? Yagamai is so generous. He actually built a base in the center of the main city. I saw a huge ship-shaped base next to the huge crystal. Throne members surrounded the crystal and guarded it tightly. In addition, there is a towering tree that is blood red not far away. Holy shit, what is that? Such a huge tree. I have never seen such a huge tree before. Yeah, it's so huge, twice as tall as Tyrannosaurus Rex. All the players looked at the holy beast blood tree and were stunned. But King Shang Jianwuhan fired a shot of blood and the others' eyes bulged. Their eyesight was very good, and they could see at a glance that the blood tree was not an ordinary big tree. Besides, can an ordinary tree grow so huge? Could it appear here out of nowhere? It must be a monster. And it's not just any monster. Thinking of this, the three people's eyes sharpened, and they used their discernment to look towards the blood tree to see into the past. Grade. HP. Skill. Huh? It's impossible. We are already level 60, and the recognition is very high. You can't even tell the name of the giant tree at a glance. Unknowingly, Shang Wang and the other three men were sweating coldly and looking at each other. Obviously, the level of the giant tree is very high, but the realm is also very high. It is impossible for a divine beast, I am afraid it is a holy beast, Jianwuhan said seriously. But how could a high-level holy beast appear in Zeun City, Yi Jianbaixu wondered. Now that monsters are attacking the city, even the Tyrannosaurus Rex has appeared. There is nothing surprising about the appearance of holy beasts, but they cannot discern the level of the bleeding tree. It is obvious that the latter is of a very high level and should appear in the main city of the corresponding level. Just like Shalu, it is a level 60 holy beast. During the monster siege, it appeared in the main city of LV6. It's not scientific. I don't know what's going on. King Shang smiled bitterly. Holy beast. That giant tree must be a holy beast. Brothers, let's kill it. First break the crystal, and then kill the holy beast. Damn it, we have no share in the Tyrannosaurus Rex. We can't miss this giant tree of sacred beasts. The three kings of Shang were each puzzled, but the players roared with excitement and attacked the crystal crazily. Dress up. Beyblade Warrior. Blade Storm. Ye Chen turned into a huge battle gyroscope, plowing the ground all the way, sweeping out to strangle several people, and then immediately accumulated combo points, and released the destruction storm. For a moment, the gyroscope swept out countless flaming darts, like a rain of fire all over the sky. Puff Puff strangled crazily, and Ye Chen returned to the original place, retreated to the side of the crystal, and nailed to the ground to defend. So, the area of 100 yards was suddenly empty, leaving only corpses. But the destruction storm swept 360 degrees without dead angles, which was spherical, and 100 yards was actually the diameter. The radius, that is, a certain direction, was actually only 50 yards, which was the maximum attack distance of the destruction storm. As the player level increases, the skill range of many remote professions exceeds 50 yards. They can bombard Yechen outside the 50-yard range. Sea of Fire. Rain of Arrows. Fire Dragon Breaking. Thousand Needle Slaughter. For a moment, countless skills bombarded out, and the sea of fire spread. However, Yechen's defense is now strong, with fighting spirit, hardened weapons, flame armor, dragon patterned skin, and various superpositions. In addition to the terrifying defense attached to the blade storm itself, everyone focused their fire and still couldn't kill him in seconds. Moreover, the tidal source of sin kills and recovers blood, so his HP can't drop. Just like before, Yechen is a man standing alone against 10,000 men. However, he can withstand it now, but the crystal can't. For a while, the crystal made a banging sound and countless fragments fell down. Its HP dropped rapidly, but fortunately it has, so it won't break in a short time. 015 The strongest assassin in the server. Author, B.A. Wang Shi-san. Chapter 447. Let's go. Tank roared, turned into a pitch-black war wolf, and led more than 20,000 people from the throne to rush out. In the current situation, Yechen could not defend it alone. It is easy to attack a city, but difficult to defend it. At this time, the importance of the team is revealed. Open the dense fog array. Google searched can. At Tank's command, a guild administrator immediately opened the dense fog array. Suddenly, a huge array popped up from the huge ship-shaped base, covering an area of 1,000 yards. Then, endless white fog emerged, blocking the enemy's vision. Just kidding, no matter how strong the throne is, there are only more than 20,000 people. Facing millions of enemy troops, how can they fight without using some means? Damn! What's going on? Why is there so much white fog coming out? Yeah, I can't see it. The huge dense fog array almost covered the entire battlefield, and everyone's vision was blocked, and they couldn't make a correct response for a while. The people on the throne side were not affected by the thick fog. They could still see the enemy and rushed around, making all kinds of sneak attacks. The enemy screamed but did not fall. Healing spell. Immediately, Xiaoro led a team of healing masters to heal Crystal desperately. Instant healing spell, no CD, released in a cycle, and how much healing master can heal Crystal? After a while, Crystal's HP that was dropping madly stopped, and then quickly recovered. The throne defended the city, and everything was going in a good direction. At the same time, the blood tree moved, and it also rushed into the battlefield, lashing with branches all over the sky. The branches, with the cover of the thick fog, made it difficult for the enemy to hide, and they were beaten to death miserably. What? Why? That sacred beast giant tree only attacks us, not the night god throne. The people on the neutral camp were confused and exclaimed in surprise. Impossible. Could it be that the sacred tree is actually night god's pet? My god, a sacred pet. Night god is too abnormal, it makes us tired. Neutral camp broadcast, initiator, invincible tall, rich and handsome, GM. Does Dream World have GM? If there is, come out quickly, damn it, night god that SB is cheating, you block his account for me, I will give you a villa. 666,666, invincible tall, rich and handsome, you are so 6. 6 eggs, there is no GM in this dream world, that SB likes to show off, and he has no strength. So he became a SB. He shows off because he has too stinky money, and he can't beat Night God, which is simply a disgrace to our neutral camp. That's right, invincible tall, rich and handsome, you are a SB, a coward, I will kill your whole family. For a while, the players on the neutral camp were in chaos. The Merchant Alliance did not participate in this farce. Those were ordinary players. The Merchant Alliance was the pillar of the neutral camp. In the current situation, they had the responsibility and obligation to break the dilemma. Take out the wind god bag and absorb the thick fog, King Shang waved his hand and shouted. At once, more than 10 players took out the wind god bag and frantically absorbed the surrounding thick fog. You know, this thick fog array appeared and dissipated immediately after releasing the thick fog. In other words, the thick fog will not be replenished. King Shang asked people to use the wind god bag to absorb it, which is permanent absorption. Of course, the battlefield was full of thick fog. Even if there were more than 10 wind god bags, it would not be absorbed in a short time. But King Shang could not control others. As long as his own people had vision, they would be responsible for blowing up the crystal. Then again, how could King Shang give up the position of city lord to outsiders? You know, this wind god bag is a specialty of the devouring beast of the light camp. As a neutral camp player, King Shang got more than 10 wind god bags. It can be seen how far he has reached and how far he has considered. The Shang King is a well-deserved hero. If Ye Chen had not appeared halfway, it would have been only a matter of time for him to dominate the Chinese war zone. However, Ye Chen did appear, and he was extremely powerful, which gave him a headache. The Shang Alliance was still using the wind god bag to absorb the surrounding fog, but there was too much fog. More than 10 wind god bags absorbed it together, which immediately diluted the surrounding fog. But in the blink of an eye, endless fog came from afar. They were about 100 yards away from the crystal guarded by Ye Chen. It was not possible to clear a path and give their side a vision immediately. On the other side, the artillery fire on the battlefield continued for a long time. More than 20,000 people on the throne side, using the cover of the fog, all kinds of ambushes, and achieved great military exploits. The most amazing thing was the blood tree, which slaughtered crazily, with hundreds of branches waving at the same time, slaughtering thousands of people in 1 second, with terrifying efficiency. Damn it, cut down the giant tree of the holy beast first. Well, there is no other way, we can only attack the holy beast first. In the thick fog, a group of neutral camp players roared and attacked the blood tree frantically. Because of the thick fog, their vision was limited, and they couldn't even see the people 2 yards away. But the blood tree was too huge, even though it was surrounded by thick fog, everyone could vaguely see its figure. Attacking the blood tree was also a helpless move. There was no other way. Their vision was reduced and other enemies could not see it, so they could only attack the blood tree. Red leaves flying. Puff puff puff. Minus 32,001. Minus 31,902. Minus 30,029. Minus 32,930. The blood tree was not to be trifled with. After enduring the heavy blow, it immediately fought back angrily, using the thick fog as cover to shoot out endless red leaves. The red leaves were as sharp as knives. One leaf could hit 30,000 HP, which basically killed them instantly. Moreover, it was overwhelming, killing tens of thousands of people in a blink of an eye. In the thick fog, there were screams of fear and unwillingness. Moreover, the holy beast blood tree had the talent of blood sucking. It could recover blood by killing people. The damage it suffered was replenished in an instant. Zazia.c. You know, its HP is now over 3 billion. The neutral camp players fought for a long time, but it was still full of blood. This immediately made everyone want to cry without tears. Damn, this is unscientific. We can't identify the giant holy beast tree because of its high level, but now when we hit it, its blood bar doesn't move at all. This shows that its HP is very terrifying. That's right, holy beasts are holy beasts, and holy beast pets are holy beast pets. The two are completely different concepts. The HP of holy beast pets is limited to a few 100,000 at most, while the HP of holy beasts is as high as hundreds of millions or even billions. This shows that this giant holy beast tree is not a pet, but a real holy beast. Whoa, damn, it doesn't attack the night god throne, it must be the pet of night god or other people in the throne, but it's not a pet because its HP is too terrifying, it's just a simple helper. Isn't that more terrifying than a holy beast pet? 015 The strongest assassin in the server. Author, B.A. Wang Shi-san. Chapter 448. That's right, the help of the holy beast is much more terrifying than the holy beast pet. In the thick fog, the players of the neutral camp are already at a disadvantage, and now there is the blood tree, the holy beast, to slaughter. They have millions of players, but they can't even gain any advantage. Yeshen, you are so abnormal. The king of Shang looked in the direction of the blood tree, his face as gloomy as blood. In terms of combat power, Yeshen is almost invincible at this stage. He even cut off Jian Wuhan's withered sword. Who can be his opponent in the entire Chinese war zone? In terms of power, the throne is now also a peak power, no worse than the business alliance. Google searched can. More importantly, Yeshen's methods are really endless. In the early stage, the phoenix pet of the blood of the sacred beast. In the early and middle stages, the magic crystal cannon. The ship-shaped base. In the middle stage, the hell suit is open. In the middle stage, the extreme special effect warrior. In the middle stage, LV-100 strong attack. In the middle and late stages, it is the help of the holy beast blood tree. After all, the Shang Wang is of high quality and good temper, otherwise he would have sighed to the sky, you. Damn it, in the same game, why is Yeshen so blessed? Yeshen, if it weren't for you, our Shang alliance would definitely dominate the Chinese theater, the Shang Wang muttered in a low voice, with hatred in his eyes. As time passed, the blood tree had slaughtered hundreds of thousands of people. You know, if a neutral camp player shows hostility and launches an attack, it is already a red name for Yeshen Tank and others. Killing them now can gain merit. Neutral camp players and NPCs are two different things. The position of the neutral camp NPC is always neutral, but the players will change. The blood tree slaughtered hundreds of thousands of people crazily, and all of them became Yeshen's merits. The 150,000 merits deducted for the capture of Xi'an City before were pulled back in minutes, and rushed straight up. System, your merits reached 1 million points, promoted to Colonel. As the system prompts, Yeshen is promoted to Colonel, and the daily rank gift package changes immediately to 10 reconnaissance devices and 10 teleporters. At the same time, his Lieutenant Colonel medal becomes a Colonel medal. Colonel medal, gold quality. Level 1. Strength add 150. Physical strength add 150. Spirit add 150. Intelligence add 150. Agility add 100. Special effect, all shops in the light camp are discounted by 20%. Additional skill LV3 Dochi. Haha, good job, blood tree, Yeshen laughed heartily. He needs to protect the crystal and dare not leave the battlefield. He is only 40 yards away from Xiaohei at present, which is not enough. This results in that he cannot kill more efficiently. Fortunately, the blood tree did not let him down. The killing efficiency is faster than his. Hee. In the dark night, above the thick fog, a little boy's childish laughter suddenly sounded, which seemed very strange. Damn, who's laughing? It's making me go crazy. Is it the sacred tree coming down from above? Damn, can it talk? For a moment, the neutral players' eyes widened in shock, and they were stunned like fools. Hey! Little ones, it's me talking above the sky. The little boy's childish voice became clearer. Everyone was so scared that they trembled all over. You can really talk? No, bah, you are a fart, it should be him, damn, I am so scared that I am shaking. It's amazing, the holy beast can talk, if it becomes a divine beast, it will be terrible. And it's a child's voice, it's really killing me, now I am embarrassed to do it. Hee, SB, it doesn't matter whether you do it or not, I will kill you in a minute. Hey, who is in front of you who is boosting others' ambitions and destroying your own prestige? Damn, you evolved into a divine beast? Bullshit, you must kill it now, otherwise there will be endless troubles in the future. Yeah, Yeshen is too perverted. If there is another divine beast to help, this game, what can we play? 666, 6666. The battlefield became more chaotic, and the blood tree was playing and slaughtering at the same time. Because of its blood-sucking talent, its HP could not be reduced no matter what. As time passed, the number of people he slaughtered seemed to exceed 1 million. Hiss, I'm going to be promoted to general directly. Looking at his own merits soaring, Yechen smiled for the first time in a long time. The childish nature of the blood tree made his nervous nerves relax. On the side, Xiaoro, who was treating Crystal, habitually glanced at him and then smiled brightly. Just then, a troop suddenly rushed out of the throne ship-shaped base. There were about 100 people, all teenagers, led by 2 people, one was slightly fat and the other had a dark complexion. They were Lab and Hailu. The slaves led by the 2 of them were the NPC subordinates recruited by Yechen not long ago. At that time, when Yechen recruited them, they were only level 58. But now, their levels are all level 65. Among them, Lab Hailu is a level 68 electronic operator. Master. Lab Hailu led the team, bypassed Crystal, came to stop behind Yechen, and said respectfully. Yechen had already let Xiaohei spin on the ground, and he was lazy. Of course, he couldn't leave too far, so he stood next to Xiaohei and observed the development of the battle. Hearing this, Yechen immediately turned around and looked at Lab and the others, his eyes showing joy. How is it? Hey, Lu and I have learned to control the electric unicorn. As for the remaining 100 people, they can also control the electric dragon. Lab smiled and showed pride. Very good, you guys go into battle. Yechen was overjoyed. The dense fog array can only last for 10 minutes. At that time, without the dense fog array, it would be difficult to keep the crystal. But now that Lab and the others are here, it's different. Yes. Lab and Hailu roared in unison, waved their hands and ran out with a group of little slaves. On the other side, the Merchant Alliance finally cleared a path with the Wind God bag. On this path, the dense fog was sparse, and they looked along and could see the crystal and a group of healing masters behind. Great, President www.jioshan.co, we have cleared it out. Many holders of the Wind God bag smiled ecstatically. Okay. The King of Shang waved his hand, and countless ranged professions stood ready behind him. The King of Shang then shouted, Blast! Aim at the crystal, the healing master. Kill them all in 1 second. Understood. Everyone shouted, and just as they were about to attack, they saw a dazzling flash of lightning in front of them. Those lightnings were extremely sharp, vaguely showing the shape of wild beasts, with a total of hundreds of lightnings. Friends, it's time for us to repay our master. In the thick fog of the night, thunderous sounds were heard, and then the King of Shangjian Wuhan and others were stunned to see 2 electric unicorns and 100 electric dragons flying over. The sharp lightning flashed, and in the blink of an eye, their main group was destroyed. Together with the neat lineup of tens of thousands of people in the guild, they all collapsed in an instant. 015. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. The strongest assassin in the server. Author, B.A. Wang Shi-san. Chapter 449. The electric unicorn transformed by Lab and Hailu is a sub-holy beast, which is second only to the holy beast. If the Merchant Alliance wants to kill a single electric unicorn, it will probably cost a lot. If two appear at the same time, the difficulty of killing them will increase exponentially. Moreover, there are not only these two electric unicorns, but also hundreds of electric dragons. The electric dragon is the lord of the country. One or two of them are not a big threat to the king of Shang, Jian Wuhan, Yuqiang Baixiu, and others. But hundreds of them, this concept is completely different. The electric unicorn and hundreds of electric dragons attack at the same time, and the destructive power is terrible. In an instant, more than half of the main force of the king of Shang died, and the neat lineup of tens of thousands of people in the Merchant Alliance collapsed, and more than half of the people died. His country lords? Where are there so many country lords? Damn, there are two sub-sacred beasts. Electric Kirin. The husky, although it is a monster attacking the city, what does it have to do with the country lords? Why are they here to join in the fun? Silly, don't you understand? The country lords are active in Zhyhaxia, how can they come here if they can't swim? And even if the country lords run out of Zhyhaxia, why would they come to Xiun City? Xiun City is only the LV1 main city. That's right. In other words, this electric Kirin and electric dragon are summoned by Yeshen or other people on the throne. Yeshen, how perverted are you? You are going to heaven. In just one round, the Merchant Alliance lost more than half of its losses, and the remaining people were full of horror. Yeshen showed his trump cards one by one, which directly shocked them. Lost again. The face of the king of Shang was full of vicissitudes, as if he had lost his parents. The sharp lightning flashed continuously for less than a minute, and the Merchant Alliance was completely wiped out. It was so terrible. The destructive power of two sub-sacred beasts and 100 national lords was so terrifying. The war was still going on. The throne side used the thick fog to cover the enemy and killed the enemy crazily. There were also blood trees, electric unicorns, and electric dragons dominating the battlefield. This made them still have an overwhelming advantage even when facing millions of enemy troops. Soon 10 minutes passed, the thick fog gradually dissipated, and the thick fog magic circle cooled down. Although it was still dark, the battlefield was lit up like daylight. At this moment, the thick fog dissipated, and the vision of the neutral camp suddenly became clear. That is. When the thick fog dissipated, a series of gasps sounded throughout the battlefield. Let's not talk about the huge blood tree for now, because even in the thick fog, everyone can vaguely see its figure and hear its voice. But what about the electric unicorn and the electric dragon? In the thick fog before, they only saw flashes of lightning, but they didn't expect such terrible and numerous monsters. Kill, brothers, no matter what, we must blow up the crystal today and take back the main city. The two sides continued to fight with constant shouts of war. Although the thick fog dissipated, the throne side's advantage remained unchanged, while the neutral camp was defeated. But they could be resurrected after death and immediately rushed back to fight again, and the neutral camp had a steady stream of players to join the war. System, you received the passing fee handed in by the player Big Grape, a total of 10 silver coins. System, you received the passing fee handed in by the player Bing Lin Tianxia, a total of 10 silver coins. System, you received the passing fee handed in by the player the Dog Thief who repays kindness with evil, a total of 10 silver coins. Every moment, Yechen's ears would ring with system prompts, and silver coins would be deposited. Of course, it was far less intense than the first few minutes. In the first 5 minutes, Yechen directly earned tens of millions of silver coins, and in the next 4 to 5 hours, the total amount of silver coins earned did not exceed 10 million. This means that there are few reinforcements from the neutral camp, and the players who died in the battle still choose to revive in the city. In this way, as long as you don't leave the city or go in and out repeatedly, you don't have to pay the transition fee repeatedly. As a result, Ye Chen's income is getting less and less. But it is also very considerable, and Ye Chen is also very satisfied. It's only been a short time, and he has earned tens of millions. What else do you want? Gradually, the sky is getting brighter. Woo woo. A ray of sunlight shot out in the morning light, and the monsters seemed to receive a sign and let out an inexplicable roar. The scarlet eyes gradually returned to normal. The beast tide began to retreat. The whole night lasted for 24 hours, of which the attack on the Tyrannosaurus Rex took more than 15 hours, and in the second half of the night, it was basically Ye Chen and the throne who were guarding the city. That is to say, after such a long time, the neutral camp still hasn't taken it down. System, the monster siege is over, and you get 3,200 honor points. At 6 o'clock in the morning, Ye Chen received a system prompt on time. These 3,200 honor points were actually earned by him defending the LV6 main city of the Light Camp and killing the Holy Beast Chiru. It has nothing to do with the capture of the neutral camp's Xiun city. If Ye Chen stayed in the LV6 main city, the honor points he got in the end would definitely be more than this. However, he and the throne received rewards, and the neutral camp players in the entire Xiun city were punished again. System, the monster siege is over, the defense failed, merit minus 1000 points, experience value gained within 24 hours minus 50%, all attributes minus 10%. Another punishment? It's okay to deduct merits, I don't have any points anyway, but the amount of experience points obtained is reduced by 50% again, doesn't it mean I can't level up? Is this game still playable? As the sun shone down, the monsters dispersed, the entire Xiun city was shrouded in white light, the dilapidated buildings began to be recast, and new NPC guards and citizens were refreshed. Then, the huge crystal sank into the ground. A group of neutral camp players wanted to cry but had no tears, and they had no temper at all. Someone immediately cursed in a low voice, "Forget it, I won't play anymore. All attributes have been reduced by 20% in total. How can I play? Rest for 2 days, curses and penalties are cooled down, this game is barely playable. Retreat, Zaoshan is still fighting, I have lost 5 levels in this day." 88. The army retreated with curses, and the original millions of troops were reduced to only tens of thousands in an instant. Among them were people from the Merchant Alliance who were unwilling to retreat. Because of this retreat, it will be difficult to organize a large army to counterattack. It is very likely that Ye Chen and Wangzuo will completely occupy Xiun City. You must know that Xiun City is the main city of their neutral camp. How can the Shang King let outsiders occupy it? It's a pity that now the army has retreated, and only tens of thousands of people from the Shang League are left. Millions of people were originally unable to counterattack, so what can they do? This is really tricky. The Shang King's face was serious and could not be more serious. QBQ 520. The strongest assassin in the server. Author, B.A. Wang Shi-san. Chapter 450. The monster siege is over, and Xiun City is refreshed. On the streets, well-equipped NPC guards have begun patrolling. Looking at the passing NPC guards, the Shang Wang's heart twitched. These are all level 70 elites, and there is a lot of level suppression for them. When the monsters attacked the city before, there were countless monsters and millions of players fighting, and these NPC guards were of course not worth mentioning. But now the army and monsters have withdrawn, leaving only the Shangmeng and tens of thousands of people, and they suddenly feel quite pressured. In addition, Ye Chen is the city lord of Xiun City, and all the NPC guards are under his command. If anyone from the Shangmeng or even the neutral camp wants to make trouble, they will kill them. On the contrary, Ye Chen, even Tank, Huo Wu, Big Fried Chicken and other throne members make trouble, and even kill people in the main city, but those NPC guards will only turn a blind eye. Double standards, there is nothing we can do, Who told Ye Chen to be the city lord now? Retreat, Ye Chen and Wang Zhou have completely occupied Xiun city. Unless Wuhan repairs the withered sword, or we get the steel cannon, don't think about counterattack. The king of Shang was silent for a long time, and finally said dejectedly. The advantage is gone. A man of insight is a hero. Even if they continue to fight, it will only increase casualties. Haha, victory. We have occupied Xiun city. I can't believe it. The people of the Merchant Alliance left silently, and the Wang Zhou party immediately raised their arms and shouted, full of joy for victory. Ye Chen also smiled slightly. Now it is stable. He has already set up the main city system so that all members of the Wang Zhou can use the teleportation stone of Xiun city. What's more, a base has been built. In fact, this is a bit redundant. Since the teleportation stone can be used, why spend hundreds of millions more to buy land? The cost is halved if the land is purchased in the own city, and build a base. In fact, it is not the case. The dense fog array of the ship-shaped base has achieved unimaginable results in this battle. Ye Chen thinks that this money is worth spending. On this basis, the neutral camp failed in the first counterattack, and it is even more difficult to counterattack again. In other words, next, Ye Chen just needs to wait for the money. Thinking of this, Ye Chen reset the transition fee of Xiun City to 1 silver coin, which is 1 RMB. The reason why he set 10 silver coins before was because he had already calculated that there would be countless players who would not be willing to counterattack. When counterattacking, everyone didn't care about the money at all. Why didn't Ye Chen take the opportunity to make a fortune? Now, everything is developing according to the normal situation. If a 10 silver coin transition fee is charged again, not many people are willing to come in. Setting 1 silver coin is much better. After all, the city lord's income, in addition to the transition fee, also includes dividends from major shops. After normalization, the system dividend will be the biggest part. It doesn't need to be a lot, just tens of millions a day will do. Ye Chen chuckled twice. This money is too easy to make. The income in one day is so amazing. Even some listed companies in reality may not have such terrible money-making ability, right? Of course, Ye Chen can't monopolize this money. Throne has already registered the corresponding club in reality. Although Ye Chen is the big boss and the major shareholder, he is only one of them. The income he gets is actually the income of Throne, and all major shareholders will get dividends. Of course, Ye Chen has the largest shares, and he personally owns 51%, so the income is 51%. Throne base. After a short meeting, Xiao Mao announced, from now on, all members will increase their treatment. Ordinary members will increase their monthly salary by 1, each team leader will increase their monthly salary by 3, and the main team members will increase their monthly salary by 5. I hope everyone will work hard and strive to become a member of the main team. Unlike before, when the predecessor of Throne, that is, God Slayer Alliance, was just starting out, the capital chain was insufficient, and there were only 500 elite members who actually signed contracts. Now, almost all of the 21,000 members of the Throne Guild have signed contracts, and the capital chain is sufficient. This is just the basic requirement for expansion. For example, the Merchant Alliance has 100,000 elite members who have signed contracts, which means that the current guild level of the Merchant Alliance is only LV42, which can only accommodate 42,000 elites. The Merchant King has such courage for a long time. How can Ye Chen do worse than him now that he has risen? This is just the beginning. There are 21,000 elite members of the throne, and more than 100,000 peripheral members. After the guild level is upgraded, the elite members will be further expanded. Haha, the president is awesome. The boss is awesome. Everyone is ecstatic, and salary increases and promotions are always so exciting. Boss, We have now captured Zeun City in the neutral camp. Is it time to capture the dark camp? Someone asked immediately. Hearing this, everyone's eyes were also fanatical. Yes, what's the point of capturing the neutral camp? If you want to fight, fight the dark camp. No hurry. Faced with the enthusiasm of the crowd, Ye Chen just waved his hand. To be honest, the capture of Zeun City this time was also a trick. Tyrannosaurus Rex Longji and the city lord and others fought each other, and Ye Chen successfully harvested them. If we go to fight the dark camp now, we will encounter many peak-level Saint Domain Masters. Can we win? Ye Chen felt that he could win. After all, it was LV100 strong attack. If he fought to the death and smashed the equipment of the Saint Domain Masters, he would definitely be able to kill them. However, this will eventually come at a huge price. Everything has just begun, so why rush it? Only by taking one step at a time and stepping firmly can we achieve the true peak. It is just around the corner for the throne to dominate the Chinese theater, but in the future, the world map will be opened and the world war will also start. Ye Chen and the throne are willful now and fight for consumption, which will undoubtedly benefit the real enemies overseas in the future. Brothers, we will dominate the Chinese theater sooner or later, but we can't expand too much. In the future, there will be a world map, a world war, and countless overseas strongmen. That is our real opponent. Ye Chen shouted coldly, like a warning bell, which made the bright smiles on everyone's faces disappear and their faces tense. Yes, there is also a world war. Now is different from the past. I have reached this height. If the world war breaks out in the future, I will represent the Chinese theater to participate in the war. It is my duty. It is a bit too hasty to expand now. Looking at everyone's tense faces, Ye Chen smiled, hee, we have reached the current level. If you are a little arrogant, I will also feel proud. But now is not the time. If you have the guts, dominate the whole server first. Okay, we will dominate the whole server. Hearing this, everyone was enthusiastic and eager to fight. QBQ 520.